He came home earlier than expected that day. Though the clock still said afternoon, the sky outside was heavy with storm clouds. Rain poured down in sharp, relentless drops, drenching the streets as though the heavens themselves were weeping. He had rushed back, eager to surprise his family, his beloved triplet daughters, carrying small gifts for the little ones who filled his life with joy. But as he turned into the driveway, his heart froze. Under the great oak tree sat three tiny figures soaked through, their yellow dresses plastered to their trembling bodies. Mud covered their shoes, their faces streaked with tears. They were hugging one another for warmth, crying softly. His little girls, his whole world, left abandoned in the storm. And there, not far away, stood his new wife, the woman he had trusted with their care. She didn't meet his eyes as she slipped into a sleek black car, shutting the door on both him and the children. In that moment, his entire world crumbled. The rain mixed with his tears as he ran to his daughters, pulling them close, their shivering bodies pressed against his chest. He could feel their tiny hearts racing in fear, as though they were afraid he too might leave. A wave of guilt and sorrow crashed over him. How could anyone treat them this way? He remembered the promise he once made to their late mother, that he would protect these girls and give them a life full of love. Yet here they were, shivering in the cold, left as though they were nothing. The path that led here had been long. Widowed far too early, he had carried the weight of raising 3 children alone. Each day was a battle of work, responsibility, and exhaustion, but their laughter had always given him strength. Their little smiles had made the sleepless nights worth enduring. When loneliness grew unbearable, he thought he had found someone to share his burdens, someone who promised to love not just him, but his daughters too. She had seemed perfect at first, full of warmth and promises. But slowly, behind closed doors, her patience with the children faded. She complained of their noise, their needs, the sacrifices she was forced to make. She longed for freedom and glamour, not muddy shoes and bedtime stories. He had ignored the warning signs, convincing himself she only needed time. But that stormy afternoon revealed the truth. Her heart had never truly been with them. Carrying his daughters inside, he wrapped them in warm blankets, whispering promises he wasn't sure how he would keep. But deep inside, he knew one thing. No matter who left, he would never abandon them. The days ahead were hard. The whispers from neighbors, the questions from friends, the bills piling up, it all weighed heavily. Yet each morning he rose earlier. He cooked them warm breakfasts, held their tiny hands as he walked them to school, and reminded them daily that they were loved beyond measure. And slowly, the pain gave way to laughter again. Fear faded, replaced with trust. One bright afternoon weeks later, he took them to the park. Their yellow dresses fluttered in the breeze as they ran across the grass, beams of sunlight after a storm. Watching them, he realized that though betrayal had broken his heart, life had still given him the greatest gift: 3 reasons to keep moving forward. At that park, an older woman approached him, her eyes full of kindness. She became a friend, offering warmth without expectation, proving that goodness still existed. Through her, he learned that healing was not about replacing what was lost, but cherishing what remained. His daughters grew stronger, braver, and more joyful. They didn't just hear lessons of resilience. They lived them watching their father choose love over bitterness, strength over defeat. Years later, they would look back on that stormy day, not as the day they were abandoned, but as the day their father's love became unshakable. Because when the world turns its back, true love does not. It endures, it carries us through. And that was the choice he made. Not despair, not anger, but love. The house, the wealth, the betrayal, all of it faded into the background. What remained were 3 fragile hearts that still trusted him, still needed him, and still loved him without condition. Life had taken much from him, but it had also given him the greatest treasure of all, the unbreakable bond of a father's love and the strength of his children. And so, what began as tragedy became a story of resilience, kindness, and love unbroken. A reminder that even in our darkest storms, light can still guide us home.